are tired of women.
That's no good. This
Come on, man.
Steal your parents' credit card.
Clap for that, you stupid bastard.
To front basket.
Hello.
Hi, welcome everybody. It is a lovely Wednesday evening.
Yes. As usual, we are here. Are you not entertained?
We've done nothing yet. Are you not entertained?
Are you not already entertained?
We've done nothing for you and you're still bored?
Yeah. It's I was very entertained by the word restaurant this morning.
Restaurant.
Yo, you going to the restaurant?
That's the restaurant.
I don't know. Sometimes
It'd be a nice Freudian slip. Like,
I think that's actually what happened. Is I heard somebody say what sounded like restaurant.
restaurant.
Yeah, and I was like, restaurant. Sick.
I've wanted. Speaking of restaurants, I've been wanting to get like a Hooters shirt, just so I can pretend to be one of the girls who works at Hooters.
I wonder because they can't like they have to like hire fatties now, right? I think
Do they have to?
I think they got in trouble for like literally the whole point of the place because the food's garbage. It's like garbage bar food, but you like thirsty, whatever the.
Well, in
boomer equivalent-
2017, they finally started hiring black people.
Is that really that?
No, I'm just kidding. No.
I mean, nothing.
We believed it you believed it for a second.
Nothing shocks
For a
me anymore.
split second.
It's just the world is just so.
They sought out their opportunity of not hiring like plus size women, but that also protected them from having to hire women of color. Mm-hmm. So until 2017, they only had white women.
Yes.
On roller skates. Do they wear roller skates there?
No, I think it's just
like sneakers and like white high socks.
Yeah, and
high white socks.
Tight shirts with the milkers.
With like the cut down the t-shirt, that's like a real whore move. Like not in a bad whore kind of way.
No, like
I
you're
mean,
living your best life.
Like where you're wearing like a t-shirt and you just cut like 3 inches down on the collar. Yeah. Oh, Steven's here. He says, guess who actually made it?
Hooters is one of those things that kind of went the way of the stretch limousine. Like
it's so out of style.
Yeah.
Although I would go to Hooters for their fried pickle chips. I think I've said this on the podcast before.
Yeah, because their
food's not bad.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I actually don't know if I've ever eaten there.
They've got like decent chicken wings and fried pickle chips that I last time I went to Hooters, that's what I got.
Why can't we find fried pickle chips? We've been trying.
I don't know, and I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
What did we get from? We got fried pickle spears from that Gus's world famous chicken nearby.
That place.
And that was pretty good. That was like that was our first night here, I think.
I think it was in this new house. Yeah.
Yeah, we got Gus's world famous chicken or whatever.
Yes. What else has gone on in fashion? So stretch limousines, Hooters, like just like places like things you wouldn't really catch like Gen Z. Does Gen Z like limos? I just think that like they're kind of chapped now. It's like
they are chapped.
Like
unless you're like a SoundCloud rapper, but like they don't really go into like limos.
No, and I'm not talking about like the like the big like SUV ones. I'm talking about like the Lincoln Town Car like stretch ones. That just were so indicative visually of the 90s, and it's just and it was such a thing that was like seen as like, I think that like we just came to a conclusion, I think eventually, of just hating rich people. Even if it's just like some,
ain't that the truth,
some dumb kids going to prom or whatever. It's
and now we just take party buses and we get drunk on the bus and don't even make it to the prom.
Right, which that's the way to go, I think.
Yeah.
Did you go to your proms? You did.
I went to. Did I go to my senior year prom? I think I did briefly for like half an hour. I went to that one, and then my sophomore year I went to one. So yeah, I went to 2 proms. Although you're not supposed to go as a sophomore unless you're invited. So I was like a date of a junior. A junior. I asked a junior out as like a friend kind of thing, and she's like, "Yeah, I'll make you my +1 or whatever." I don't have a date.
Oh, cool. There you go.
So yeah, I went. Honestly, proms not that great. Nobody's drunk. Nobody that I hung out with was drunk. All of the kids that I wanted to hang out with were drunk,
Yeah.
but would not have me.
Yeah, it's high school was a little bit tribal about whatever alcohol they can get their hands on.
Right. Although in my neighborhood, it was more like cocaine.
Oh, fun.
Not my neighborhood, my city.
Well, you were in Florida.
Kids from the old money parts of where I lived were definitely doing coke. Like every weekend.
Yeah.
And I caught whispers of like invitations to parties and stuff. And I once got invited to one and I couldn't make it because I was out of town. I could have been doing coke at 16 years old.
I know. That would have been super sick.
That would have been really cool.
You would have been like, I think it would have really set you up for being much cooler today.
Yeah, a much
were
more
that cool then.
successful life. Yeah. A successful life where I can just piggyback off my parents' money and live on the island side of Vero Beach forever.
Exactly. And use your parents' credit card to go to the restaurants.
The restaurants, yeah. They did have some really good food out in Vero on the island side, though.
Yeah,
I will admit.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. So, something happened. Yeah.
Well,
Yesterday?
Yesterday. That was yesterday?
Yesterday.
It was yesterday. Yeah.
So,
So when the verdict came out, I hadn't even thought for hours about the video we posted, and then I was in the car yesterday, like closer to like 6 p.m. and I was like, oh shoot, we posted a video about what we thought the verdict was gonna be, like 4 hours after the actual verdict, and I was like, oh, yay, we were wrong about that.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the important takeaway because like I think that like. And it's kind of going to be like a moratorium on like even talking about these things just because like you can't talk about it in a way like that you're just not allowed to. It's like because like everyone is so fucking heated or they think they're so heated and like the most brain dead takes are coming from really just establishment right and left check marks, but particularly like our politicians, and we'll get into that, and corporations.
Yeah, that's the most chilling part about it.
Yeah. So anyway, everybody knows Chauvin got really the fucking book thrown at him, and it's like it's important to remind everybody like the video we did where what sucks, I think that we made the mistake with that video of titling it the way we did and then the thumbnail because it's like that wasn't really what we talked about. Yeah. It was more like I started by saying strap in, this is a possibility. You know?
Yeah.
Just based on like what's legal, what's illegal, blah blah blah. But like, so it was strange to watch him getting convicted because, everything, like he got struck with everything, and it's like it's weird to watch because I was telling you like after we watched it and we were just like laying on the couch because we were nervous because like this is the outcome we wanted. It just because it kinda,
the outcome that did happen is what we had hoped for.
Yeah. I mean, just like, at the very least, this guy just has to go to jail. But like, people can make arguments about like all the different things they threw at him. But I think like, and people have been talking about that he could appeal. But
I don't think it's worth even trying.
No, but I don't even think that like the courts would hear it. Because, and this is like my point is like, so when we were watching him get the convictions read to him, to Chauvin, I like felt bad for him, which like, and I told you, I'm like, but I don't feel bad, but because like he sucks. But there was someone on Reddit that like made a great comment of like, if you did feel bad for Chauvin, it's because you have empathy,
right? A
feeling he didn't have for George Floyd. So I'm like, that's a good way of putting it. It was just more like I don't know, I just feel bad for people, like, and like he just looked like scared and stupid, but fuck him. It's like this weird feeling. Like I was telling you today, it's like what sucked about the whole thing was like I don't feel like justice was really served. It was just like gross. I just felt like I like had walked barefoot in a movie theater, like, and just had sticky shit all over my feet. It just felt like,
well, it's kind of twofold. Like, justice wasn't really served because there's no real retribution that can happen for somebody who is like killed on camera, you know, like there's no retribution that can happen for that. But also justice doesn't feel like it was served because of the fair trial issue, which you brought up. And like the thing is with a fair trial these days, you actually said this earlier today, there's just no such thing as it anymore.
No,
not with the advent of the internet and how ravenous they are.
And it's important to like note that beforehand, that I don't think that any trial is really fair, but like, I mean, regardless of the outcome, this one was just not. It was not fair to him because it's crazy. Because, like, by the way, it's worth noting that we did that video thinking he might get acquitted before they gave the family the $37 million settlement.
Yeah.
Before, like, basically every politician before he was convicted, like Democrat politician, decided to like give their thoughts on what should happen, which was kind of unprecedented and strange. And I think that like all of this would have probably in a different scenario, because like I mean there's no way that like they could let this guy go. There's just no way. And it's like, so regardless of really like what I was trying to just make people aware of like what maybe was illegal or illegal, and just that like he could use these loopholes to get acquitted, all this mountain of shit happened afterwards where it just felt like the entire intelligentsia was like, nope, no fucking way. This guy is getting everything thrown at him. Not to mention that, like, as it was starting to heat up too, like they were starting to dox jurors and shit. So like, would you want to be the juror?
Fucked, dude.
So it was just like there was no possible way that this could like go any other way. And this all happened like really quickly. So it's not like I'm trying to like amend my statements before. It's just more that it just all this avalanche of shit happened, and yeah. So then people got the verdict that needed to happen. I feel like a lot of this too. Like I was telling you also yesterday, that it reminded me of, and I think we talked about this on another podcast, but like just O.J. Simpson getting off. It's not analogous, but I mean just like why these why there was no question that Derek Chauvin would just get the whole like book thrown at him, like every single charge they wanted, is very similar to O.J. Simpson getting off for obviously murdering, his ex-wife, and
honestly, like completely admitting to it,
basically
at that point.
Yeah, and writing a book later about basically if I did it.
Yeah.
But it was him getting off was in a direct response to the Rodney King beating and riots. It's like it was like. That was so similar of like this thing had to happen or else this could potentially get worse.
Yes,
like, this destruction and chaos and whatever. And it's
in a way though, like I understand it's like it's preservation of like, and it's not necessarily fair, but it is preservation of like the national well-being to prevent riots that like on such a hot button, which it wouldn't be so hot button if the media and internet didn't exist, but to present such a hot button court case like this and have it reach a verdict that would protect the general welfare, I think like I understand the balance there. That is like the Constitution's whatever, or the Declaration of Independence's like MO is like protecting the general welfare. Isn't that the Declaration, or is it the Constitution? We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
Oh, that's
there. That's the Declaration of Independence.
I'm operating on like an hour's sleep, so I can't. I can't keep up.
That's
with
okay. And I'm really bummed by this verdict, because the tattoo on my lower back that I got of Chauvin's face that says "not guilty" underneath is now I have to get it covered up.
Yeah.
Reverend, so I don't. Doctor Reverend the ordained Derek Chauvin is now. I have to get that covered up.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit bummed about that.
Yeah, well, like, like it was. I mean, I told you, you could regret getting that tattoo of him. Well, you can now edit it so he's like nailed up on a cross.
Nailed to a cross. Yeah. Cross out guilty. Cross out not, and just make it say guilty.
And then just have them tattoo like little
guilty for our sins
on him.
No. Crown of Thorns.
But it sucks though, because like these like, so the George Floyd video was, I mean, just kind of like historically we're going to look at this as like a very like it's gonna, I think it's gonna create a new word that will replace meme, because it like the timing was so perfect. It was like they had just started to dump like massive amounts of like unemployment on people, like like with that big plus up, so people like had disposable income to like just go and be crazy, like without really consequences of like where they needed to be the next day. That video was the perfect, like it was just seeing this. To me, when I watch Chauvin, I think he's something wrong with him. I think like either he's got like brain problems or he's like a sociopath or both. I don't know. He just strikes me as like a really strange dude. So like, and I did find it really odd. I mean, I understood it like based on like how horrific it was what he did. But I found it odd that it was kind of like they were talking about him like they did the Covington kids thing, where it was just like, look at his smug asshole face. And it's like, I watched him and I'm like, I don't really see any expression here. Like I actually find it creepier that I don't see any expression on his face. But what sucks now is so we won't really get into it because like unlike the whole fucking media, I want to wait. But the 16-year-old girl who got shot, it's looking like
all optics on this are bad.
Bad. It's just bad. And so it's like, and it's not. But what's weird is like the media just they want it. They want this so badly.
And of course, it would happen the same day that the verdict is announced. And so like. Of course, this is going to be another story that we run with. Yeah.
So some positive things can come of this. I mean, like, I think that like a lot of, rebuilding or like really it's just like it's going to have it's been bizarre because like, we talked about Black Lives Matter, the founder buying up all the houses and whatever. And they raised like over $90 million during this since the last summer.
Yeah.
And like what that money could do is hire a ton of fucking crack lawyers to start changing like these problems. And
yeah.
I told you today, I'm like pretty black-pilled about like what we can actually do because, the cops are a problem, but it's like, this is a top-down issue. And like when George Floyd first was killed, it was like, I said, drugs need to be like, they need to be legal now. I mean, like we start there.
Yeah.
I mean, like so it's like this big thing that needs to happen that just kind of won't. And so,
and I think like the general population has already come to terms with the fact that the war on drugs is a failed and mostly racist legislative like overreach.
Yeah.
So like why hasn't anything changed? And I think it's because like, well, there's money to be made off of it. There's a ton of fucking money to be made off of it.
Yeah.
And the politicians aren't changing it, but I think the general population understands that it's a failure.
Yeah, well, I mean, I it's funny. Like my dad, I saw him right before we did the last one, and I was talking to him about all this, and like because then, he he considers like the things I talk about, but then he kind of goes like, well, what's your solution? I'm like, well, it's not really my job, It's like I just like, but then I'm like, I told him that thing, and he voted against marijuana legalization in California. Like,
wow,
took a really boomer position on that, and then he was like, position. I totally agree with that today. It was like, so,
wow.
So like, he couldn't really argue it because it's just like what, like we're just putting people in fucking jail. We're making it so people do get arrested and have these altercations with cops. Like cops shouldn't even be dealing with this shit. I mean, it just needs to be out of the picture. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, like the whole thing just sucks. And like, not being like one of the burn the whole thing down kind of Marxist people, like I don't really know what the solution is because like, look, like I understand their drive for that utopian vision where they can just get rid of like, defund, abolish like police or whatever.
Yeah.
But they don't have any fucking plan. And so it's like, okay, well, we can't just like, I mean, we can't just have people training or like social workers because that dumb cunt fucking shot that guy who was supposed to be there training them not to do that shit. So it's like, this doesn't work. Like, and so like, I don't, you could say that, okay, more money, then more training. I mean, I don't know. I don't fucking know. And so it's like, and again, they go with these like kind of things to them aren't hyperbolic. These terms like abolish the police, and it's not popular with most people, including black people. And
the thing is, like, if you were to abolish the police, which we've already seen start to happen in certain communities where police are just not doing anything, it becomes privatized, and that gets even scarier because they are outside of public law and outside of public management.
Yeah.
So there's no legislation that can really immediately take effect to limit their power. Not that anything has already been implemented to limit police's power, because BLM doesn't want to change the legislation, or has not made any effort to. But the privatization of police is arguably way more dangerous than...
Oh, dude. I mean, like, we did that in the fucking Middle East with Blackwater. It's like the most atrocious war crimes.
We also did that at the CHOP or the Chaz or whatever.
Yeah.
And they killed 2 black teenagers.
Well, that was citizen police. That wasn't
private police.
Well,
is what I'm talking about.
That was what the irony of that is. It's like, oh, we don't need to be like, they wouldn't let any of the cops in there, which fine, I got it. And then like, then this self-appointed security guards end up killing 2 black teenagers.
What
it's just
is. Like when you don't have a public police force, we obviously will result to things that can be good, like the Guardian Angels. Is that what they were called? They wore the red and white.
They're pretty lame now, but in the 80s and 70s
they were pretty cool
because New York was a
rat shit place.
It was the worst. Yeah, it was awful. So I mean,
but it can be good. It's just that more often than not, it ends up being more dangerous, and people who are not necessarily like, I said privatized police, but I basically just mean like outside of public, like coalitions of people trying to enforce rules or laws or whatever, they did at the CHOP.
And like, so like, let's just say that their utopian vision came true. It's like they would have no plan to rectify this absence quickly. And so it would be richer areas hiring their own private security people. And then areas where we live here would just have nothing. And so fortunately we have guns, but it's like,
Right.
you know, like, it's just, anyway, it doesn't really matter. Instead of the black pill shit, there is some positive things I think that can come out of this. You know, it's like, hopefully it doesn't have the chilling effect of like cops are just not going to respond to these neighborhoods, because like why the fuck would, like, because the thing with this 16-year-old girl, it's like, what was he supposed to, I don't know, was he really supposed, like, from what I can tell, I don't know what he was supposed to do. It's like either the one in the pink gets stabbed or he shoots her. Like, I mean, it's like a black life was going to get fucked up either way. So it's like, I don't really know what he was even there to do or what he was supposed to do. But I mean, people are still, they're in Ohio rioting right now. So it's like, I don't.
We will see about this one.
We will see about this one, and I also think that the brain dead takes from corporations and our politicians really woke people up to like what was going on, and so like
these are laughable. So we can probably laugh at these a little bit more.
Yeah,
this one made me fucking lol, dude.
Right.
This is from the official Las Vegas Raiders account.
Yeah. By the way, I am so gay that I didn't even know they left Oakland. I had no fucking idea.
They tweeted a photo, basically just like a little graphic that says "I can breathe" 4/20/21 with the little Raiders logo at the bottom. What the fuck?
And then Jacob Fry, the mayor.
Jacob Fry tweeted, George Floyd came to Minneapolis to better his life, but ultimately his life will have bettered our city. The jury joined in a shared conviction that has animated Minneapolis for the last 11 months. They refused to look away and affirmed he should still be here today.
And so what's weird is it's like, okay, number one, they're treating this guy like he was Jesus fucking, like it's like religious. It's like, it's very, very, very religious and strange. Yeah. And like it's almost like it's like post woke pandering. Like I don't really know what this even is anymore. It's to the point where like people are like, Black Twitter was like, fuck this, especially fuck this one.
Oh yes, this one is so good.
Thank you, George Floyd, for sacrificing your life for justice.
What?
For being there to call out to your mom. How heartbreaking was that?
Oh my
call
God.
out for your mom. I can't breathe. But because of you, and because of thousands, millions of people around the world who came out for justice, your name will always be synonymous with justice.
So,
thank you.
So there's
my fucking God.
Okay, again, it's like, I want everyone to pay attention to how performative this is. So when she says,
thank you, George Floyd.
She looks up at
the
heaven.
sky, at heaven. So it's like we are literally treating this guy like he's a religious figure. And
thank you, George Floyd.
And like let's also consider that, okay, this particular cop got charged. And so like I think only 14 cops in recent history have been charged for things like this, like to this degree, and not just gotten off for whatever reason.
Right.
So I mean, perhaps it'll set up like a lane through which people, you know, this might actually happen more often, like so they can't just kill with impunity, you know, if they want to. And also, it's made Daniel Shaver's fiance come out and start getting attention on his case, which he's the one that was crawling on the floor in the hotel and like giving like it was pathetic. I mean, like they were giving him these confusing instructions. He tried to pull his pants up because they were falling down, and this guy just fucking lit him up with a rifle. I mean, and then that guy got his job back long enough to get health benefits and his pension, and then he retired.
Yep.
And so like, and again, it's like, I mean,
super cool.
It's like, look, I mean, you know, it's tough because like, you know, everything is like so touchy. It's like, yeah, like if I were black, you know, like statistically, like not doing anything wrong, like I would be definitely probably more uncomfortable if I saw a police car than as a white guy. I mean, just statistically, this is just true. I mean, they just get harassed more. But on the same token, it's like, we need to care about, if like this is the issue that this is all focused on, right? So it's like we need to care about, you know, I talked about Kelly Thomas. Kelly who? You guys are fucking racist. And it's like, guys, this is all like, these are all really, really, really cut and dry, egregious cases where there's no confusion about what happened. I mean, it
Right.
is so obvious, and it's like if you can get all of these, like you can fix this problem if you accept it's happening from every angle. So I'm glad she's speaking out and it's getting some attention, because that video is it's probably the worst one, like one of the worst ones I've seen. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
even when I see like a screenshot or like the
makes me,
thumbnail
like,
of it
shiver,
scrolling through Twitter, I can't watch it again.
yeah.
can't.
So she looks up at heaven, and then she does, I think, the most egregious thing.
For sacrificing your life for justice, for being there to call out to your mom. How heartbreaking was that?
Okay, how Trumpian was that?
How heartbreaking was that?
He calling out to his mom.
How heartbreaking.
How heartbreaking was that?
How heartbreaking
How
was that?
heartbreaking was that? It's just it's like they're just all the same fucking and like
Yeah.
and again, they just cannot act like people. And again, that this messaging was so consistent across the board. It's like what brain virus do you fucking geriatric retards have? Like, the guy would rather not be dead, obviously.
Yeah.
So like
Perry actually said my jaw hit the floor hearing this. He didn't ask to be a martyr,
No.
which completely like makes what she said sound so fucking stupid because
Right.
like you didn't sacrifice your life. You were killed.
you were killed, yeah. Like
By verdict, you were murdered.
yeah.
So like it's so fucking stupid that she would dare even say this. And then she has people in the background who are what I assume to be black Congress people.
It's just like his family and I think some of the lawyers.
Oh,
were
his
trying-
family,
Keith
okay.
Ellison too.
I thought maybe like it was legislators who like they specifically placed back there.
No. It's all by design, and like
Of course it's by
by
design,
design. But I mean,
yeah.
it's like but again, it's like even with this staging, and I'll get to Del Reese's comment in a second, which like so it's all staging for her to deliver the stupidest fucking 1 minute line she ever could have said ever. And then so Del Reese says that this video of Pelosi pissed me off more than watching Mr. Floyd dying. I think you're being like a little hyperbolic, but I mean, but still, it just goes to, it just goes to show that they don't care. They just used his they used his death.
How heartbreaking is that?
Because you can see him doing it. Like
Yeah.
if he were the one that like he just it just is so clear to me that these people have so little regard for anything that like anybody that makes under $20 million. It's like it is just not interesting
Right.
to them. And so and like again, so okay, this guy got the book thrown at him. It could have some transformative change, but like I'm not seeing anything other than just well, this guy's now gone. So like now what?
Now what?
You
The
know?
legislation won't change. It's not going to.
And
This will be the victory that they accept, and that will be it. They'll act as though they've reached the finish line, even though we definitely have not in terms of making material change.
And so, more brain dead takes.
Yes, I love the brain dead. Oh, Hillary Clinton. When you were searching
I'm Hillary
this up-
Clinton, and
I'm kind of retarded.
So Hillary tweeted, George Floyd's life mattered. Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor's lives mattered. Christian Cooper's life matters. Black lives matter, and we have a lot of work to do to achieve true equality and justice for all. Join Color of Change to become a part of that work today.
So it's like, just look at her kill list. I mean, like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
you were responsible for so much. And, like, also, people like George Bush talking about fake narratives. It's like, bitch, you literally have the deaths of millions on your hands.
Yeah.
Like, million, if not more, over you knowing that Colin Powell was lying. Like, and it's just... enough. Like, you guys don't get to talk about integrity, honesty. Like, you're just it's done.
The most delicious thing about this happening, about this verdict, is previous administrations coming forward and being like,
dude,
racism and systemic racism is still alive and well in our system. And it's like, you guys had every chance to change the legislation to fix it. We now have the House, the Senate, and the presidency. So why hasn't anything been fixed? Like, Joe Biden even now and Kamala Harris saying like systemic racism is a huge problem in our system or whatever.
It's like, dude, like
fix it if you see it.
And both of you were the architects of things that made black people's lives worse. It's like, I don't, and like, Joe Biden's was forever. So like maybe in his old age, he had a change of heart, but it's like, where is he saying like now that was a bad fucking idea? Like full stop. He won't. And then
I don't even think he remembers that he wrote it.
I'm starting to think that Kamala Harris is like simply an insurance policy. So like they don't kill Biden because like nobody wants her to be president except for like the fucking 17 people in the K-Hive that are like basically just loud idiots. The K-Hive. Yeah. And so it's just like, I don't know. I mean, like it was, I mean, and on the same time, just like for myself, it was just nice to see people like they just saw through this. They're just like, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
It's so performative. It's so like, again, it's not even woke. It's like, it's like some new thing. It's like post woke something. I don't know what the fuck this is. It's neo woke. I mean,
I think neo woke is a better, because post woke is like a proper good thing.
Because like if you say neo, post woke means over, but like neo woke, like literally turning this guy into a deity is bizarre. Like, and so now it's like using this tragedy and the outcome that was politically expeditious for you to then center it around religion is really fucking weird. It's really weird. And again, like, I mean, what she did was so Trumpian. I mean, like, it was just like, so
fucking crazy.
Yeah, I'm glad that everybody just it seemed like pretty universal condemnation on that one. It's just like, so yeah, that's that. And you mentioned that like we kind of want to close the book on talking about this. Yeah, right? I mean, what's really the point? It's like it's kind of it's like all these different things that happen. It's like regardless of how much I've like sucked up the oxygen in the room to like try to give all angles of what could possibly happen, no one believes you're being objective. And so I just don't really find this to be a fight that's worth it. Also because I'm putting in energy into something that the people who actually could change something aren't doing anything. So it's like, fuck it.
The reason you can't, this thing cannot be interpreted as objective is that, generally speaking, identity is subjective. It is your life, and you get to decide how much it shapes your life.
Yes.
Or you can say that you didn't get to decide how much it shapes your life. But identity itself is so deeply rooted in subjectivity that whenever we talk about any kind of issue that relates to somebody's identity,
emotions just can't.
Emotions cannot be separated, and unfortunately, that is just how it's going to be until
for the record,
identity dies.
And for the record, I get it. Like, I mean, I really do get it. I think that I'm in a weird position just because, like, like when I was younger, gay issues used to really piss me off, and like, in fairness, like 15 years ago, it was like not great, know, and gay marriage was still illegal, all these things, like, but that was sort of the last hill to climb. And then I started like see kind of, you're going to keep creating new issues to keep your fundraising apparatus alive. So like, and that Black Lives Matter, the organization, every time one of these horrible tragedies happen, they're like, yes, you know what I mean? And it's like,
they rake in cash.
Yeah, dude. And it's like, and again, it's, yeah. So yeah, I just don't really see a point of like talking about them anymore. And I feel like just between just the tensions that are going on right now, because I think idiots like Pelosi thinks this just solves something, and it didn't, and people are still really fucking pissed. So it's like there's just going to be more and more. It's going to just keep ramping up until the cops, I think, just give up. Like, I don't really know what they're going to do anymore. So I guess we'll see.
We certainly will.
Yeah, we certainly will. So I found this article today. Apparently we're like about to experience a terrible drought here. It's kind of interesting too, because so Gavin Newsom declares drought emergency.
Really?
The Russian river watershed is
Russian.
Which is where his fucking winery is, by the way, is hard hit by a lack of rainfall. The emergency order will allow state officials to relax some restrictions on reservoirs and assist endangered fish. But it's like this fucking, on top of all this shit, the fire season this summer in California is going to be crazy, especially because we don't have any fucking money.
Yeah, honestly, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the collapse of this state.
Yeah. I think it
is long overdue.
It already has collapsed. I think this
physically, economically, it
just
failed.
Like let it just the earth open up and suck it.
I can't wait.
Brand says, so true. Once guys got the right to marry, etc., all those
Gays
folks.
got- yeah.
Okay, sorry. All those folks who made money off the struggle has nowhere to go. Q identity politics and diversity officers, and
Yeah.
and BLM is following the same pattern. And like, and it's every group. Like, and like, because again, I mean, it just like one of the giant ironies of this is like, so like, who's the original black leader grifter is like Al Sharpton. I mean, like, yeah, you know, in the 60s, important with Martin Luther King, blah, blah, blah. But in the last 40 years, I can't really think of anything that he's done other than just like make his profile bigger by like being the guy that like is like sort of the anointed black voice for some reason. And then he went to Minneapolis, and the video that he posted on his Twitter was him getting into his own private jet.
Private jet.
And you're like, could this just, I mean, can you guys just please see this and like, and ask your leadership like why they're not helping you? Because like, we can't really say shit anymore as white people. So it's like, like I it's up to them now. So like, you know, I don't know. So, but yeah, like it was just so chef's kiss. It was just so, it was so perfect. But speaking of privilege, there's a little bit of a fiasco. That
Miss
happened.
Demi Lovato.
Yes, dude. I think we have like trashed her at least 75 times on this podcast. She is the most brain dead worm. Well, I think she's got fucking borderline. Like I really do.
I think she's actually come forward and admit that she has like a mental health thing.
But we're gonna highlight somebody else that it's like they gobble up every single fucking thing, which is borderline behavior. So
and she also literally, she is now feuding with a frozen yogurt chain. Well, she's not anymore. It has finally come to an end.
Yes, but it's called The Big Chill. It's actually pretty good. So hopefully it says, I think so.
As quickly as Demi Lovato's feud with LA-based frozen yogurt chain The Big Chill began, it seems that it's already come to a peaceful resolution. The pop star posted an Instagram video to her account on Monday. I watched this video, apologizing to the establishment for the way her words got misconstrued. Lovato first called out The Big Chill on Sunday for carrying sugar-free products, claiming that it was triggering to people like her recovering from eating disorders.
Okay, so like, and then everybody who isn't brain dead goes, people are diabetic and want to eat yogurt.
Yes.
So what the fuck are you talking about, you stupid? It's not about you, bitch. Like,
yeah, it never is.
It never
it's
is.
Never about you.
Yeah, it's and so anyway, so
finding it extremely hard to order froyo from The Big Chill official when you have to walk past tons of sugar-free cookies and other diet foods before you get to the counter.
Don't leave your house. I mean, don't leave your house.
You sound like you don't want to.
You need to not be around people anymore. Like, or like you because you're unfortunately, I don't. What does she do? She was a singer. I mean, like, what does she even do anymore other than just talk about how mentally ill she is? Like, I don't really know what she does anymore. Like, it was wild to me that like, cause like she made music for like a second, and then like everything just became about her like problems.
She also went to rehab like twice.
And I would feel more sympathy for it if she didn't capitalize off it every single time. I mean, like, and then she put out a fucking documentary about it, and it's just like she went on Joe Rogan to talk about it, which it's like, so
yeah,
this is like, it's like, is this what you think you need to be? Like, is this
she is here to cash her check?
Like, do you feel so useless and so like trapped in this nightmare hell world you created for yourself that you think that this is the fucking move?
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, like, it's
Demi, there are people dying.
Yeah, like,
that's frozen yogurt the way.
That's also like the crazy thing to think about is it's like, so literally a trial that could have resulted in a lot of chaos in major cities.
Yeah,
if it didn't go the way it was supposed to. It's about her feeling triggered. Like, this is what this is like what she chose to like make a giant statement about. And she probably posted like, you know, a black fist or something in the right after it or something. But it's like,
yeah, the Big Chill responds to the critique by sharing the singer's complaint on their own Instagram stories and explaining their choice to stock sugar-free items, obviously saying, we carry items for diabetics, celiac disease, vegans, and of course we have many indulgent items as well. It's like, Bitch, you live in LA. You're going to have sugar-free. You're going to have vegan. You're going to have paleo yogurt. Like,
well, and also my question is like, so like if you're recovering from an eating disorder, you should just be a fucking, like, you should eat the full fat sugar stuff. Is like, so you could just get fat again, like, and then also hate yourself. I don't get it.
Yeah, the sheer idea that you would have diet or sugar-free items in your store is now eating disorder phobic, right? ED phobic.
Yeah, and nobody's really buying this anymore. And
Yeah,
again,
nobody does.
And again,
this is like 2016 shit.
And also like read the room. It's like, what have we been talking about? It's like 76% of the people who were hospitalized for COVID were obese. I mean, it's like this country is so obese. Like, this is not cute. It's not cool anymore. And if you get fat again, Demi Lovato, that's also an eating disorder. So like, how about you just not treat yourself to some yogurt? You know what I mean? Like, this is such a concern for you. But also eat healthy. It's like chicken and broccoli. Put some cheese on it if you want to spice it up. Like, just.
I want to know how this ends. So, well, actually, here's the middle part. Lovato wasn't satisfied with the company's simple explanation, going on to post her private DMs with them to her stories.
Oh my God.
The Big Chill wrote, "We cater to all of our customers' needs for the past 36 years. We are sorry you found this offensive." And she replied, "The whole experience was triggering and awful. You can carry things for other people while also caring for another percentage of your customers who struggle daily," all caps, daily.
Wait, what does she even mean though? Like, so you can,
her customers who have eating disorders?
So like we need to like sequester the diabetics to like a special, like almost like how they separate the genders in the Middle East. Like we got to do that for like the fatties. That like, it's like, what do we?
Yeah.
I
just even step foot in your store.
How old is she?
I think she's about your age.
Good Lord.
Yeah. You can find a way to provide an inviting environment for all people with different needs, including eating disorders, one of the deadliest mental illnesses, only second to opioid overdoses. She spelled it wrong. It says sick. Don't make excuses, just do better. Oh, the do better makes me fucking cringe.
Is she saying that anorexia kills the same amount of people as, or like all of them, or
only,
like
it's only second? So eating disorders are only second, or are the second deadliest, second only to opioid overdoses.
That, why would you even?
Yeah,
it's like the
I think it's because her life is that she has an eating disorder and an opioid problem.
It is so interesting to me how people do that. Like it's if it's something that directly affects you, you become this like so enraged, and it's like, just take a step back. Like like just do some fucking ketamine or something. Like get out of your fucking
ketamine,
get out of your head,
or
acid, retire, or just
get off the internet.
Get off the internet, yeah, and stop bothering people with you.
I think you'd be much happier, Demi, if you did that.
You can just keep going on it.
Yeah. Struggles with sobriety, has been posting about her eating disorder. She added in a follow-up message that the solution to the problem could be as simple as labeling these products differently, as the messaging gets confusing. And being in LA, it's really hard to distinguish diet culture versus health needs. And it's about not excluding one demographic to cater to others. Okay. And this next video is what I saw.
Oh, we'll play it.
It's 8 minutes.
She looks terrible.
She does.
What's up, everybody? Walk to this froyo shop to help the messaging right. Another thing that a lot of people
is so
don't
self-important.
know,
It's so.
I guess it's something that must be an LA thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, of course it is.
It is, of course.
Asking. So I'm so sorry if it got misconstrued.
No, you really solidified what was.
Yeah. We know where you
I
stand.
don't always get this right. I speak my mind.
You're a narcissist. Okay, like, and we get it. Like, I mean, that's really what it is. So,
yeah, that's fine. We get it.
And you have borderline personality disorder. And speaking of which, one of our most ardent defenders is one of our favorite people.
Oh yeah, she's.
I don't know if you guys know who Jamila Jamil is.
She was on The Good Place.
The Good Place,
I believe.
And then she did a few other things, but like she was sort of touted as like, basically you need to replace every white actor and writer in writers' room with Indian women. It's like she was part of that like movement and stuff. Yeah. And but she's insane. Like probably the most like classic example of like borderline personality disorder. So
she's exactly.
So of course she has to defend her other borderline queen, and she comes out and white knights for her.
Oh boy! All right, here we go. I love those awful images. Jamila Jamil posted on her story in response to the Demi Lovato thing. She said, okay, this is a fucking paragraph, you guys. Okay, I want to try to avoid making the story bigger than it already is. But that's exactly what she does.
It's exactly what she wants to do, yeah.
If an eating disorder advocate says she sees products that are positioned as guilt-free and it is potentially triggering, that doesn't mean she's too stupid to remember that diabetics exist. It just means that we need to change the marketing of products that are for people's medical needs. That's all Demi was asking for.
No. I mean, like,
No.
what if it was flavored with stevia? I mean, like, I would prefer to eat ice cream that was flavored with that, like, because it, like, if I, like, especially froyo is terrible for you. Let's be real.
Yeah.
It's been like weirdly, people have this brain worm where they think it's healthy. It's awful. It's like garbage.
Right. Yogurt has like cultures in it or something.
No, not enough to counteract like the fucking 20,000 grams of sugar that are in each serving. I mean, it's like it's not even close. So like, it is a like. What's also crazy to me is that this is all over a food that is not necessary to your survival at all.
Yeah.
It is a piggy treat that you get if you are high or unhappy, you know, and a narcissist. And so, I mean, it's good, right? But like, you know, I'd rather just eat ice cream. Like, I don't know. I've never really quite understood this particular like craze, but
yeah, me neither. I
like,
think
I
it
don't
is
wanna
like
put- I
the
don't want,
pseudo
like-
health craze though.
yeah, I don't want like milk product with gummy bears on it. It's gross.
Yeah.
So like, you know, but yeah, I think the health craze, and again, people are stupid and they think that they're being sold. It's
Yeah.
not. It's non-fat, and it's like, well, yeah, but the fat's not the problem. It's the sugar. But anyway, sorry.
Jamila says, it doesn't make her a monster. It doesn't mean she disregards people's illnesses. She's just one of few celebrities reminding us to look out for mental illness. One of few? One of thousands of celebrities reminding us that they have BPD?
Yeah, if it's not race or gay stuff, it's mental illness, and it's always in this like as somebody who like struggles with some of this stuff, this shit is so embarrassing because like this is not like this. It's just it like delegitimizes like things that like really make your life harder.
When people think of mental illness, they think it's sexy.
I think it's like rape. I think it's sexy.
They think it's
What?
Eugene Carroll.
Eugene Carroll. What a throwback.
BPD Gene Carroll.
Yeah, BPD. the Eugene Carroll to BBT pot.
BPD.
I can't get it out. I'm so tired.
BPD Gene Carroll. Yeah. She's just one of few celebrities reminding us to look out for mental illness. Guilt-free is diet culture terminology. We need to stop using that fucking term. We are so lucky to even... I love when she curses. We are so lucky to even have food. That in the name of shit and hell is there... Or what in the name of shit and hell is there to feel guilty about? That's a term of shame.
What the fuck is this?
Orthorexia is easy to slip into, and it's a fucking nightmare to crawl out of.
What the
All caps fucking.
fuck
What is orthorexia?
I have no idea.
What is orthorexia?
Orthorexia nervosa is an eating disorder that involves an unhealthy obsession with healthy eating.
Unhealthy obsession with healthy
That
eating.
sentence doesn't make any sense to me.
So like only buying like low cal, like only buying Halo Top, only the ice cream with only 130 calories. Oh, the Halo Top, only eating like celery or whatever. Like stuff like that, I guess, is like
that's not
healthy.
That needs to be explained better because that's not healthy eating. Like celery's not. It's just water. It's not really anything.
It says they're rarely focused on losing weight. Revolves around food quality. Oh, like only buying organic.
So good.
Yeah.
Right?
Why is that a big deal? Like just buy organic.
Do they have
That's
to give
not.
They have to give a name to everything. It's so funny.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
let's
So
get
what
back.
else does she say? What is this bitch saying? Orthorexia is easy to slip into, and it's a fucking nightmare to crawl out of. I think it's good to keep raising awareness on this matter until eating disorder rhetoric is out of our normalized mainstream culture.
No.
We say words like this all the time.
You don't get to decide that.
Yeah, you don't. Electing foods for virtue or sin, cheat, guilty, naughty, bad, unhealthy, etc. All problematic terminology.
How much do you want to say that like when COVID was going on, she was like just trust the science, and then like. But when it serves your cause, to not trust it and like and neuter all these terminologies that like are there to like help you.
She when COVID hit, she had nothing. She has nothing, and so she's online. Same with Demi.
That's
like
the problem.
None of them are like properly working right now. So it's like they are out of their goddamn minds.
We'll go to the next one, but I want to read some of these comments real quick.
Yeah.
Jesse says, based on the logic, having food is terrible for anyone suffering from anorexia. Yep. So let's close down all the grocery stores and restaurants. Perry says, I worked at a yogurt store for like 3 days, and it was a gallon of thick milk that gets poured into the machine and chills.
Ugh.
I haven't had one for a decade.
Ugh.
It was the most disgusting thing ever. They offered me a free one at the end of the shift, and I never touched it. Jesse says, orthorexia, when you go gluten-free, organic, and drink water of specific pH value.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's pretty atrocious.
Unbelievable. Is there more?
I think there might.
God fucking damn it. She does not shut up.
Oh my God. So then yeah, it's like, so okay, so then you said that she knew about the diabetes thing, and then now she's like apologizing to people with diabetes. I don't. It's all a performance.
Yeah, what the hell is going on?
But we want to tell you a little bit more about Jamila Jamil, and
she's fun.
And like I would have just told you guys to go look this up on your own, but it's so fucking funny. So like it sounds like we're joking about this person having borderline, but I want to have Sean read the personal life version of Jamila's Wikipedia. I want to see how much of this rings true to you.
Yeah. Tell us if you believe everything here. Do you mind zooming in a tiny bit? Wikipedia's, if you're able to, Wikipedia's text is always so small. So small.
Really, no.
It's okay. I can do a little squint maybe.
I can do it.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Okay, strap in.
It's a long. This is her personal life section on Wikipedia.
It's worth it. So I'm gonna I'm gonna just read this, and you guys just start to like tell me when you raise your eyebrows. Okay, Jamil has been in a relationship with James Blake since 2015. She came out as queer after her appointment as a judge of voguing reality series Legendary received backlash, as voguing ball culture is rooted in Black and Latino LGBTQ communities in New York.
I remember that.
So we got one there. In interviews, Jamil has mentioned several bee attacks in her life, including being hit by a car at age 17 when running away from a bee. In 2015, Jamila claimed that while she was interviewing musician Mark Ronson in the Hollywood Hills, the biggest swarm of killer bees she had ever seen made them retreat. Ronson contradicted Jamil's version of events, describing one or two individual bees and walking slowly inside in response. Jamil related that while filming the first season of The Good Place in 2016, she was chased by a dark swarm of bees and again got hit by a car.
Twice. How could that happen to you twice?
And we're not even a quarter of the way through this.
Yeah.
In 2019, Jamil states that she ran away from bees while crossing the road to the UN headquarters to give a speech. In several UK interviews in 2013, as well as one in October 2018 episode of Good Morning America, complete with video footage of her falling, Jamil stated that she had lost a tooth, smashed her nose, broke her elbow and several ribs, and got a concussion when she slipped and fell on her face while running around the set with Ollie Murs at a recording event leading up to the pair acting as presenters at the Orange Rocco Corps Volunteers London concert in 2010. Footage shot shortly after the incident shows Jamil completing various challenges for the event, including pushing a wheelbarrow full of wood chips and helping build a coat rack. Jamil stated she glued her broken tooth together with eyelash adhesive after the incident, which has apparently held as of 2020.
That's fucking so not true.
In 2019, an interview with Hard Talk, a BBC news program, Jamil stated that she had been raped several times in her life, and that in the past she looked at blaming women, but has changed to blaming the societal patriarchy that produces that scenario. Jamil has also stated that at age 12, she was attacked by a man on Oxford Street, the main shopping street in London, recounting, "He grabbed my vagina in my school uniform at 3:30 p.m. so hard and for so long that I bled and had to throw both of us against the wall to get him off." That as a teenager, 3 men ejaculated onto her leg on escalators on the London Underground on 3 separate occasions, and that she has been the subject of many lewd acts by men since age 11. She also recounted that she was dragged into a car in Belize Park as a 15-year-old where she was saved because someone saw her predicament.
Oh my God.
In 2015,
halfway mark, you guys, the halfway mark.
Jamil mentioned that she left the BBC Radio 1 show official chart show because of a breast cancer scare in 2014 and had lumpectomies on both breasts, in which she says that she lost a large chunk of breast tissue. However, in the 3rd of October 2019, a Hard Talk interview, she concurs with the interview that she had a breast cancer scare in 2016 and has participated in an immediate move to Los Angeles after a week waiting for test results that showed to be a single benign lump.
Oh my God.
Separately, in a segment recorded in 2016 for Fashion Target's Breast Cancer, she instead describes having recently experienced a lump in her breast that showed signs of precancerous cells.
Oh my fucking God.
Also in October 2019, the same month as the Hard Talk interview, but not the interview itself, she stated she suffered from actual cancer twice, having cervical cancer in 2016 and 2019.
Oh my fucking God.
Jamil also revealed she has an autoimmune disease, something
called Hashimoto's thyroiditis.
Yeah, in 2019. In
Jesus
2020,
Christ.
a social media user accused Jamil of having Munchausen syndrome and falsifying or exaggerating specific public claims of health issues. For instance, Jamil claimed to have had a peanut allergy at birth and had recently posted an image of a peanut snack, though it is possible for peanut allergies to fade as person ages. Jamil denied that she has the condition, and the social media user clarified that they were not a medical professional. Jamil has also stated,
any person can see that she is messed the fuck up.
Yeah, well, Jamil has also stated she experienced anxiety, depression, and obsessive compulsive disorder in various interviews. In 2019, as part of World Mental Health Day, Jamil stated she survived a suicide attempt 6 years prior.
Oh my God.
In an episode of the talk show Red Table Talk, Jamil revealed that she attempted suicide for the second time 8 years ago due to a nervous breakdown. She also stated that she partook in EMDR therapy to treat her post-traumatic stress disorder prior to her move to Los Angeles.
Jesus fucking
So
Christ. It's like that Zach Hadel joke where he's like, I've got depression, I've got anxiety, I've got OCD, I've got ADD, I've got ADHD, I've got a bum knee, I've got
gout.
a broken elbow, I've got gout.
Yeah. And it's, well, let's, like, just in case you guys, I mean, I'm sure all you guys know, but let's really just what Munchausen syndrome is.
Yes, I love this one.
A factitious disorder imposed on self, also known as Munchausen syndrome, is a factitious disorder where those affected feign disease, illness, or psychological trauma to draw attention, sympathy, or reassurance to themselves. Munchausen syndrome fits within the subclass of factitious disorder with predominantly physical signs and symptoms, but patients also have a history of recurrent hospitalization, traveling, and dramatic, extremely improbable tales of their past experience. The condition derives its name from Baron Munchausen. So, like, and then there's also Munchausen by proxy, where you're poisoning your kid to get sympathy from the community, and this is primarily women that do this, and I don't really know why.
Yeah.
But it can afflict men, but like both Munchausen and Munchausen by proxy is primarily ladies.
Yeah.
So, how much of that did you guys believe? Let's see.
Nature trying to self-correct. Oh my God.
Okay, let's see here.
Yeah.
The woman from The Good Place, I heard she's a terrible person. Well, yeah.
You're probably not hearing incorrect information.
Yeah, poor woman. I mean, like, Perry's got the right take. I mean, she's the thing is like she's really mentally ill, but it's like you could consolidate all these lies into like actually figuring out what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
And then you might get sympathy if you admitted that you made all this shit up and exaggerated it because you're really mentally ill.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we made her a celebrity,
Right.
which makes her think she can do no wrong. And also that, like, she is meant to be where she is and be as outspoken as she is because she was, I don't know, talented enough to become a celebrity when it probably just happened by chance.
Yeah, and I think it. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know anything about her other than just how hilariously ridiculous her like self-perception is. But like,
yeah,
like, you know, so yeah. But Jesse says someone goes on the web and when they lose the attention of the crowd, so like, yeah, I mean, it's like terminally online, yeah, and then like, I mean, I get it. I mean, we all have those thoughts, we just don't act on them. Like, I mean, you're a much better person than me, but I'm sure like some of you can relate to this of like, you know, if you're like, you're going to school and everyone's kind of being shitty. Like, imagine if my parents died, like how nice everyone would have to be to me. Like, have you ever had like thoughts like that before?
Yeah.
Like, just
did you ever as a kid like fake something like cancer or like, cause I've known a couple people who have.
No, I never did. No. Cause that's the thing is like, I think the difference is I never would like, it would be like little like dark thoughts, you know, like, and then it never manifested in anything.
I knew a couple people who did like fake it, which was interesting.
Whoa.
Yeah. I knew this kid named Garrett. Maybe I shouldn't say. Well, he's whatever. He disappeared without a trace. I don't know where the fuck he went. But I went to school with this kid named Garrett not too long ago, probably within the last 5 years or so. And he was just like this insane pathological liar.
I remember him.
Mm-hmm. And I really was trying to dissect his brain a little bit, but he just would never really like let me in. Yeah. He was so dead set on the lies he told me, but the lies like overlapped and contradicted each other.
Do you remember any of them? Because I remember they were wild.
said that he one owned a Rolls Royce because his family was a part of some foreign mafia. Yeah, I'll say it, the Irish mafia.
Okay. Which they're really kind of okay.
Yeah, so he said his family was from them. They moved to the U.S. after having to escape something. He also said he lived on his own. He showed me some of his designs, and he clearly like lived in his mother's house, in like a townhome in Orange County or something like that. I may be divulging too many details, but I can't even find him on the internet myself.
Yeah, I mean,
I have no, like, I've looked him up since, and I'm like, where the fuck did he go? He's gone. But he also said he designed suits for Tom Ford as an intern. It's like
there's just so many, like
so many. Yeah.
And
he was also like I think he was also lying to me about like, because he was gay too, and like I think like. So he claimed he had a boyfriend and like could not really procure any real details about this boyfriend other than that he was like really sick and had like a heart disease, and so he was like funding the medical bills for that heart disease with his Tom Ford money or whatever, or his mafia money. And I don't know. It was so scary. And like, but he would also be like very flirtatious with me. Mm-hmm. And he would always come back to being like, nah, but I love my boyfriend so much. I could never flirt with you. And it's like, what?
It's just, yeah.
I didn't even prompt this. It's just completely unprompted that you would.
Yeah. That's, I don't know what that is. That, I mean, but yeah, I mean, it crosses all boards. Dalry says, I hate when people are like they attempted suicide. No, you attempted self-harm. Exactly. How sucky do you have to be at offing yourself? I mean, that's another thing is like, there's stats on this. Like, I think that in terms of like suicide, like, men, I think are like 70% more successful than women, because one is, I'm not saying, women kill themselves, Sylvia Plath was like a really fucking brutal way to do it. I mean, like, this happens, but it's like because men choose more violent, effective means, which means to me that it's less of like hoping somebody finds you because you just didn't want to ask for help or whatever, what was going on. But it is like, and then he also says that he grew up in the hospital, and he was a sickly child. I remember him telling us about that when we were talking about the COVID and vaccines and stuff. And it's like also too, like, I mean, I think we even said on the channel once, I can go ahead and say it, like, I have bipolar and like a bunch of other shit. So it's like I have
got a bum knee, you got anxiety, you got OCD, you got gout, you got.
But dude, like, I mean, like the fact that like this, because this shit's not really new. I mean, I started to notice like this like fetishization of like mental illness starting like 2012, and it made me not seek out like good professional help for a long time. Yeah. And like fucked, like, I mean, like it caused a lot of chaos in that time period. So it's like, I resent these people a lot. Like, and I don't really resent her. I resent the people that like just let it go unchallenged. You know what I mean? It's like where it's like just get help. Like, go commit yourself for like a month and figure out what the fuck's wrong with you. Because stop bothering everybody. And to Demi Lovato too, same deal. It's like, I don't know what amount of rehab she requires, because it seems like she's like always in one. But just stop talking to the public. Just keep your mouth shut and leave us all alone. To both of them,
Right, exactly.
Perry said, I thought I had bad vision when I was in second grade because everyone kept getting glasses. Yeah. Women typically do it as a cry for help, and they get it. As per usual, men get the job done. Yeah. Jeez. Well, it's guns. I mean, like, men are just that's usually the and I mean, like, that's like most recorded gun deaths. Like, you see gun deaths in this country and they're so high, but they factor suicides into those, and it's all men. But to Jamila, it's all toxic masculinity and whatever.
Of course. Even
though she gets fawning attention for fucking 17,000 obvious lies, it's like, I think there might be a little bit of a discrepancy here. And then if like, if a man says like, hey, like, my life's pretty bad, it's like, you're privileged, shut up. It's like, okay, well, I'll go shoot myself in the head now.
Rough.
Okay.
No, don't kill yourself. You're so sexy.
Dude. So we will not be here next Wednesday.
It's Jordan's birthday this coming Sunday. So we're going to take the week off just to give, I don't know, Jordan a special little birthday week, which has actually already started today.
I know this is going to horrify Perry, but Sean bought me a beautiful giant big green egg smoker, and I'm so excited. Like, dude, I'm so excited.
Yeah, it was a very good deal.
It's something I never thought that I would own until I made Fuck You Money. So it's like I am really like I feel it's the one that Mark Zuckerberg had, for fuck's sake, and he's like a bazillionaire. So I feel very, very lucky, very loved.
Yes,
very
today marks the start of your birthday, and we'll celebrate all the way through the end of next week.
Yeah, 'cause it's tough because like between you working and then like different people that want to do different things, like your parents, my parents, whatever, like our friends or whatever. We just have to like. I don't usually like the birthday week thing, but for some reason I'm more fine with it this time around. I don't really know
You
why.
should be. I mean, the world was shut down your last birthday.
True.
Also for my last birthday. What
Yeah.
did we end up doing on my birthday?
I got you. Well, I think I made you dinner, and then I got you I got you this. Where is it?
Oh yes, yeah. We had the podcast.
For anybody that
Was my birthday on a Wednesday?
I gave it to you early.
Oh, you did. It might have been like a day early or something.
I gotta get
Hello, Sean David Castro. It's me, Rachel Dolezal.
Where is it? And there it is.
Hi, Sean David Castro. This is Rachel Dolezal.
Yeah.
That was a great birthday gift. That was so thoughtful. And
Perry
so
says
sweet.
major dad grill energy, and
I was saying to Jordan, I can't wait for this summer to see him shirtless grilling meats out on that thing on our balcony.
my friend Jack. Well, Jack's been in here. He called it my autistic grill because it's like it really is like. I mean, it's a whole thing. Yeah.
It's the hobby that just keeps on giving.
Yep. And thank you for all the nice. Thank you, Brand. Thank you everybody for saying happy birthday. And yeah, so we won't be here next Wednesday, but we see you on the one after that.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe.
That's all I can really think of. Our new time is still going to be 6 p.m.
Yeah, I like this time.
Mark your calendars. It felt a lot better today.
Yeah, a lot less like, hurry up and go.
Mark your calendars every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific. We also have a Patreon, and if you want to subscribe, you can below. We're very close to 600. We didn't even mention the fact that we hit 500 in the last week.
Yeah, it happened really quickly.
Really quickly, and then we almost hit 600, and we lost like 15 or so, I think, because people started to watch the rest of our videos.
Yeah, well, I think I think it was, we don't really like do anything that really appeases rightoids or leftoids. So it's
Yeah,
like,
leftoids.
I think it's like, I mean, the fact that like the people that are always like here live are all kind of like, we seldom deviate on.
Yeah.
There's a type of person. I think we're just kind of like generally like libertarians that find a value in like a social safety net and like not go full libertarian retarded. It's like just leave me alone kind of is like generally the thing.
But so we're going to hit 600 very soon. So tell your friends, have them take a listen. If they want to subscribe, they can. And all of our socials are linked in the description as well.
Yes.
All right. See you guys soon.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Basket.